Gabe, Elton of Awesome Rare Coin, is our guest, and I'm not going to chew up any more time because I know we have some specials that Gabe, he hasn't been on for about a month and a half, and he's brought some things to the program tonight. Gabe, if you wanted to finish your thought on the manipulation of gold, the acquisition of gold and silver by countries and central banks around the world, go ahead, but let's not forget to talk about these offers.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, I've really touched on those issues. Basically, that's exactly what's happening is central bankers around the world are seeing through this facade, and the fact that the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency seems to quickly be coming to an end, and China seems to be ensuring that. Other countries see this. People over here were still in a daze, it seems. But sooner or later, that is going to come to an end, and when it does, it's not going to be a choice of our own or Ben Bernanke's. It's going to be a choice of a Chinese dictator, and so that's the situation that we're in. Talking about gold, I happened to chime in a little early for your program, and was listening to Eric talking about gun control and these gun laws. That's exactly what seems to be happening, and it's not just the guns that I think they would plan on taking. You have to also be concerned about what types of gold that you purchase. Mark Faber, who is a billionaire, recently came out and said, he definitely expects a confiscation of gold in the United States because it's viewed, although, many of your listeners, including myself, wouldn't consider ourselves wealthy, and we do own gold and silver. It's viewed by the mainstream public as something that only rich people own. And that it's such a small percentage of the populations that do own gold, they're not going to have a voice. And he assumes, Mark Faber says, that it's going to be quite popular for a gold. I was
going to say, I could see it being sold as a popular movement to go after, we're going after the rich.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And that's the way that it'll be portrayed. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people, when they're buying gold, they want to know what's the closest to spot that I can buy my gold for. And, that's the exact wrong question to ask. The question that you should ask yourself is it private? Can I buy and sell it in unlimited quantities without having to fill out invasive paperwork? Is it protected from confiscation? A lot of people don't know, but there's laws that says any coin produced in the United States minted before 1933 is classified as rare and unusual. It doesn't actually have to be a rare coin. You can buy it for close to gold, but because of when it was produced, by law and by statute, it is considered rare and unusual. In 1933, when they confiscated gold, rare and unusual coins were exempt. Another thing that's considered rare and unusual is any foreign gold coin that was minted before 1959. And they would give you much better protection. And so, you have to ask, is it private? Is it protected from confiscation? And the third thing you have to consider is, in the event of a catastrophe, will I be able to barter with it? In which case, you're probably not going to want 1-ounce gold coins. So there's a lot of things, guns and gold seem to go hand in hand. And when they start coming for one, you can almost bet they're going to come for the other in short order.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, again, and I've said it when you've been on before, you don't have to take your word for it. You don't have to take my word for it. They've done it. They've done it in the past. So what makes us think that they wouldn't do it again? Especially, Gabe, if whatever plan is being cooked to rescue the world from the sovereign debt crisis that's being imposed on us involves precious metals. And absolutely, it will be a must at that point. It's why we did it in the first place. That's why they did it the first time when they confiscated gold, so they could revalue it. And, of course, this is what would be, and that's, again, probably a very good indicator on why central banks are loading the shelves with gold. And also why they want to restrict gun laws, because that's the one thing that will protect your gold. But that's exactly right, and they have done it before. I wouldn't put it past them to do it again. And the fact that, people are, like you just mentioned, saying that, in fact, maybe this next new economic model and this new world reserve currency will have a gold backing. Well, China is already assuming that. I'm here to tell you. They are accumulating gold at unheard of paces. They're producing gold at unheard of paces, and they're not exporting any of it.
And people are saying they're positioning themselves to be the next world reserve currency, and of course that means the next world superpower. They seem to know what the end result's going to be. Shane McGuire told me that from the people that he's talking to, they know what the end result's going to be. You know, you have a billionaire saying, hey, if you don't take possession of your gold, you're an idiot. You know, people that own these ETFs, GLD and SLV, they're in for a real surprise. And people are waking up to that and taking physical possession, and that's when the gig is up. So, you know, there's just not enough gold to go around for everyone. In fact, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to throw it. I want to make sure we talk about this deal, but I also want to give Eric a chance because he's sitting in the wings. I know he's listening. And
yeah, go ahead.
Eric, did you have a question or a comment you'd like to add to that?
Well, you know, I mean, it's really, to me, it doesn't. You know, I can't afford gold anymore, and I've spent, you know, most of my metals. Some people call me an idiot or not, but you know, I've sold my metals, a lot of them, back into the market to continue my own personal funding because I've never had sponsors and so forth to get me onto the air and whatnot. I've always had to fund it out of my own pocket. So, you know, like Jefferson before me, I've spent my wealth to continue the message. And, you know, I'll tell you that really, whether or not they say one law that's supposed to protect you as to which coin to buy or not buy, I mean, at this point, I don't think any of that really matters. I think it boils down to the fact that they're going to take every single thing they can if it's not nailed down. And, you know, I'll guarantee you the first people who are going to lose their gold are the people who don't have it in their own hands. I mean, if all you have is a piece of paper that says you own some gold, somebody in some office somewhere is just going to be like, what piece of paper? I don't see a piece of paper, and throw you out onto the street. I mean, that's going to be the easiest stuff to confiscate. But, you know, for me, it really boils down to that, you know, I don't really care what kind of precious metals you get into your hand. If all you can afford is copper, you know, extract natural hard assets out of the economy and store them either in livestock or whatever you can. Precious metals are a really nice one. You know, get those things that will maintain you, maintain your quality of life, which is, to me, that's what real wealth is, and that's what metals represent. Metals represent a quality of life purchase that you can make down the road, you know, to benefit you and your family. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Consider it a short against the government.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's get into this. We have about 10 minutes left. Gabe and I had a email conversation today, and I told him that, you know, I wanted to chip something into the effort, and we came up with a deal that only Gabe knows all the details of because we didn't carry it out that far. I know approximately what we're going to do, but Gabe, what do you have in mind?
Well, here's what I was thinking, Charlie. I was thinking we could do Canadian maple leafs. I've got a really good deal on those. I can offer them at just $3.50 over spot. You remember there were times I was able to pay well over $3 a spot for eagles and maples if you were selling to me. Right now, you can buy them from me for $3.50 over spot. And for each mint roll of 20 coins, I think we should give away a free ounce of silver to the first 10 callers.
That sounds. I'm writing this down. So we got 20 maple leaves, which are they 20? Are they 20 or 25 count? Too?
Oh, excuse me. That is 25 coins per roll. So I tell you what we'll do. For each mint roll of 25, we'll give away a free ounce of silver and a free silver dime that we'll chip in as well. And that'll be
very cool.
Charlie.
So, thank you, Gabe. And so I want my dime because I'm sitting here looking at my roll of Canadian maple leafs I bought from you here a little bit ago. I'm just kidding though. I did keep the dime. so we're gonna do 10 offers, and what I'll probably do is if we don't fill this out tomorrow, or if we don't fill it out, let's say by Monday, Tuesday next week, I'll get a banner up on the website so we can promote this deal. We're going to do 10 packages, the 25-ounce silver maple leaves. They're gorgeous, by the way. And you purchase a tube of these at $3.50 over spot, and you get an ounce of silver free. What is the ounce going to be? Is it going to be a round or?
It'll be. I'll throw in an Austrian Philharmonic.
Gosh, 3 and fill. That's a great deal.
1 ounce silver. We've got those in stock. And, you know, it could be a gold or silver. Basically, it'll be the first 10 orders. If you like silver, we happen to think silver is going to turn out to be more profitable than gold. It's more affordable than gold. If you look at the numbers, it's actually the above-ground supplies. It's more rare than gold. There's just a lot of things that say silver should be more profitable. Gold is a little bit more stable. It seems to be looked at more as a financial hedge, more so than silver. But, you know, not everyone can afford gold. But
Right.
What we are going to offer are Swiss francs. We've got some Swiss francs here. I can offer them for $35 over spot per coin. Today that comes out to $337 a coin. Here's the thing. If you're looking for gold pieces, you're going to want to have a smaller gold coin in order to barter with instead of a large one. And
Swiss franc, is that, what's the weight on that?
slightly less than 1/5 of an ounce.
Okay.
If you figure out the per ounce price, it's the least expensive fractional coin available. In other words, if you like the idea of having a small gold coin around, you're not going to find one for less. Smaller gold coins always cost more, but Swiss francs are ideal because of when they were produced. They stopped making them in 1949, and by statute, they are protected much more so than bullion coins. And here's the thing, Eric had mentioned that there are some, who expects the government to follow laws? They hardly follow any of the laws that are already on the books. However, it would be much harder to take. They would have to change the law to take these. They wouldn't have to change the law to take a gold bar or a gold eagle. And that's the thing. It would be a little bit more hard for them to do that. And another thing is, if you look at precedent, rare and unusual coins were exempted in the past. Here's the problem. Although, again, they don't follow the Constitution, but in the Constitution it says if the government were to take something from you, they have to compensate you for it. It's very easy for them to compensate you for a gold eagle or a gold bar because the price is very prevalent. It's very hard for them to compensate for you a pre-33 U.S. coin or a pre-59 foreign coin because you could argue that there is collector value there. And no one can really establish that. The government can. It would be like them taking Picasso's.
Well, let me ask you. So we're just a little bit shy of 1/5 of an ounce Swiss franc, $337 a coin. Are you doing? So we're going to do silver on 2 of those?
Well, no. If you buy 2 Swiss francs, we'll throw in 1 ounce of silver for free. And for the silver, if you buy a mint roll of Canadian maple leafs, which is 25 ounces, we're going to throw in a free ounce of silver, and I'm going to match that with a free silver dime.
I'm doing math right here, right now. Hold on.
And
keep talking.
That is for just 10 orders. You know, it might be 5 silver orders and 5 gold orders, but 10 orders total. The first 10 orders total. Doesn't really matter.
Okay, so the most, I did a math here. The most, if you call in with a $765 order, you're going to get a free ounce of silver that's a Canadian maple leaf and a, what is it, what kind of dime is a pre-64 dime?
Yeah, that's right, pre-65.
Pre-65
and here's
dime.
the thing, guys, we would love to give you this on a smaller order, but people don't realize we work on really close margins. We're talking a markup of less than 5% on both of these things. If you were to order $200 worth of silver, there's only $10 of profit in that, and there's no way for me to give you a $30 coin when I'm only making $10 selling you the roll of silver, or excuse me, the $200 worth of silver. So I think this way works out best, and we're going to give it to the first 10 callers starting tomorrow, and we're looking forward to those calls. Both of these coins are excellent coins. The Canadian Maple Leaf silver coins, again, at $350 over spot. Swiss francs, slightly less than 1/5 of an ounce. It takes 5.3 of them to make an ounce at $35 over melt per coin, which today equals $337 a piece.
And silver closed, what, 27 and change a day?
It closed at $27.69. I think it's down in after hours, down to $27.45, something like that.
Okay, all right. So my math's accurate. Gabe, that's a great deal, and $700, $800. I mean, $1,000 purchase in precious metals I mean, that's usually, as you know, about where when I buy again, that's usually the number I have in mind. I'm going to go out and buy that much worth. So basically, a normal person or a normal person's with a normal middle class income, which would be me, that's going to get a free ounce of silver and a very cool coin. And I want to emphasize this with about 3 minutes left to go. We need to understand the stock market, the Dow, is in, I said it in the first hour with Eric, it's in this 12,300 to 13,000 range. We're pinging around in this range. Gabe came on and he talked about the same range that gold and silver is pinging around in. Understand this, that the range is being used to induce fear. The range is being used to induce more panic in the populace. So we are more malleable to understand that we need the central bank and we need more debt. This is exactly 100% why two things happen. Number one, we saw this big rally today, and we'll continue to see it play out until there's opposition in Europe to the central bank's plan there to do anything it takes. But be rest assured of this. When it takes hold, this more debt policy, precious metals have to go up. They have to go through the roof. I mean, this is why in 2008 you could buy silver for $8 an ounce. This is why in 2012 you're going to pay $28 an ounce. It isn't because, things have changed and we're seeing inflation across the board in all equities. No, we're seeing it because of what Gabe talked about at the beginning of the program. We've seen the debt, in a lot of cases, double, triple, quadruple, and we've seen equities stay where they're at and precious metals increase. So my prediction is this. They're going to keep playing the fear game until they get what they've announced that they wanted, which is immersing the planet in even more fractional reserve, fiat, fraudulent debt. And when they do this, metals must go up. Gabe?
That's 100% true. I mean, that's the only thing that can happen, and that's Kyle Bass recently during this conference said it's not a question of if there's going to be QE3 or not. The question is there going to be a QE4, 5, or 6? And we all know what happens when you have a Federal Reserve blowing money out of a hose like a fire hose. Gold and silver react accordingly and go up in value. And this time it's different. This time there's more people in the game, and the people that are in the game know what's happening. In 2008, gold was still looked at as something archaic. These days, the funds, the pension funds, it's totally changed.
That is true. And if you think back, looking at just mainstream business coverage of precious metals, you start to see that change, and you certainly see, every other banner ad across the internet and every other commercial on cable TV is for gold and silver.
And most of it says, come sell me your gold and silver. We want to buy your gold and silver. I'm sure you saw the video of Mark Dice trying to give another maple leaf away right in front of a coin store. He couldn't sell a gold maple leaf for $50 because no one knew what it was.
I didn't see that one, but I remember the first one when he's walking around the streets of California. Although, in defense of the people that said no to it, I mean, he could walk up to me, as I know who he is, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. But if some random person I didn't know is offering me this air quote gold coin for $50, I'd think something's wrong with this guy.
Well, that's why he changed it this time. He did it right in front of a coin store, and he said, "Hey, you can go right inside there and see that it's real. Just ask him if it's real," and nobody would do it.
All right. Well, what do you see happening? Give me a quick view. And I know this is a prediction game that nobody likes to play. But what do you see happen?
Hey, look, I like to play it. I think by the end of this year, you're going to see gold over 1,900. You're going to see silver pushing 50, and I think that is going to start by mid-September.
Gabe, Elton, Awesome Rare Coins. Please give him a call. You heard the deal. It's a good one. Gabe, I'll touch base with you in the morning on how we want to proceed with maybe putting some up on the page until we get those 10 packages sold out. 800-552-4109. That's Gabe's direct line. I'll give it to you one more time. 800-552-4189. All right, guys. Gabe, Elton, thank you.
4109, Charlie. 552-4109.
Did I say 89 twice? 800-552-4109. 4109. I'll get it right here. 800-552-4109. Gabe, Elton, Awesome Aircoin. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next month. Eric, thanks for hanging out with us as well. Guys, enjoy Jeff Rentz. He's coming up next. Have a good night.